So moving forward a few more years then, you went to China. You were the first American to perform for the Miss Tourism World Pageant. How did you land that gig?
That was an epic gig. It was so fun. How did I land that gig? That was networking. That was a networking thing.
Okay.
That's the thing that, if we're doling out advice, that's a real pillar of this industry is, I started performing in China to open 5-star hotels. So, for example, there was a new Four Seasons coming into Hunan province, and they do these amazing, gorgeous, elaborate shows. And I was the, banquet hall. They transform it into this beautiful pyrotechnic, amazing show. But it's essentially the ballroom, And so I would do these ballroom shows, and they were so easy. It was like 2 shows, and people were just so happy and sort of drunk, and but it was a great show. And then we would tour all of that local area because they were smaller, emerging market. And it was a blast. So I had gotten known throughout the booking agents, of which I don't know if maybe there was 20 at the time. And they knew that I was put on a good show, that I was fun to be around, that, that I was going to be easygoing enough to deal with, and that the show was good. And so they told each other, and so that was kind of how that happened. This agent was doing the Miss Tourism World Pageant with the TV show, with the live show, and also this beauty pageant, which was in the most beautiful. It was in Wugong Mountains. The show was placed in the base of Wugong Mountains. So
wow, sounds amazing.
And they built a full 20-story waterfall that was the back of the stage.
What?
And the water just flowed, and they had a moat in the front and lights, and epic. Such
that sounds amazing.
And then all of us girls, they were so cute, and all the little beauty queens, that was my world before. So I really, so we would do a rehearsal on this stage in the mountains with the water flowing. And then we would go climb the Wugong Mountains. With beauty pageants, they have a local event. You have to do all the fun local events. And so we went to the Wugong Mountains, and me and 40 young, beautiful, not physically able to get to the top. None of us could get to the top of that mountain.
Oh, bless.
And we were really suffering, but we climbed the mountain, and then it was in an area that had a lot of hot springs. So so we would do our rehearsal, everything would be going great. I was, the musical performance. It was not a hard gig at all. And then we went to the local hot springs, and it was the water that comes out from the earth, and they were so fun. So fun.
It reminds me of Iceland a little bit, because they've got a lot of hot springs over there as well.
Yes, there's an area they did a wonderful job researching where to put the pageant, but it was a really beautiful area. There was a lot of natural hot springs, and all of these cool resorts were there where you would come and then you'd drink papaya juice, and it was so nice. It was really fun.
You give me travel envy again now.
Oh man, I have so much. That's why I'm literally telling you this story. I have so much of that. I'm watching all the travel shows, and
I think everyone's watching travel shows. I mean, I'm just looking, I've got before I started really doing YouTube, I did a lot of travel vlogs just because they were for my own purpose to look back on in years to come and just see what I got up to and with my kid and all that kind of stuff. So it's like a little memento, my legacy, if you like. And I have a whole shelf that's dedicated to all these DVDs just stacked right across. I'm like, yeah, fancy watching this one today. It's great.
What's your favorite spot?
Oh, it depends on my mood. Not as a rule, but I've always thought I would never go back to the same place twice, because I think, you got money to spend. You want to go and see different places.
Absolutely. I am with you.
Having said that,
which one was the most epic?
I think Iceland is one of my favorite places. It's just so diverse, and depending on what time of year you go, that same place that you visit can look completely different. So it's just really absorbing all of that. But also the Philippines as well. I have quite a big heart for the Philippines because a lot of my audience is based out there. That's to say with Ria and Jonah and everyone else. So it's just nice. It's like a second life out there. So I get to kind of mingle with people, meet some artists, go and see the islands, and it's just another kind of trip entirely. So I think Iceland and the Philippines are two of my favorite places to go. Yeah.
Okay, good. Those are on my list.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. I haven't been to either of them, and I've always wanted to.
Oh, you should definitely do it. I think the Philippines has a massive music culture as well. So if you want to try
amazing. Yes.
Yeah. We'll try and get you out there.
Okay, Ria.
Yeah, exactly. So back onto China. You had a TV show called The Ambassador, which was well received by critics and viewers. Tell us more about the show.
Yeah, The Ambassador was a travel show, which based on the performances in different parts of the country and more rural up-and-coming cities in China. And it was based off, they had a travelogue show that on their English channel. And so the crew would basically follow my shows. And because I was performing in these interesting cities and doing fun things, and every show I do benefited a local charity. So we would go into a lot of times a local orphanage, and I would harangle the new the new hotel owner to give money to the charity. And so we really, it was a really nice way to share with all of China some of the different charities, the wonderful charities that were happening in China. Now, having said that, I'm not sure that the communist government really loved all of that exposure. So it was a 1-year, short-lived TV show, which I loved, and people did really like it. But they loved it for a year, and it was the kibosh. And I did hear that, we went to Hebei, is a city in northern China, and we went to a village, a smaller village that was affected by the AIDS crisis and weren't ever able to get the antiretrovirals. So there, we may have stepped into some things that the communist government, CCTV is a national TV station. And in a lot of ways, they really do keep close tabs of things. And so that got it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, and you did manage to do some outreach programs to the charities, so that's always good.
It was good, and it was sort of following what I was doing anyways. But I was really glad. That was my favorite part, to be able to share with a wider audience, because that brings more people donating and volunteering and exposure.
Yeah.